Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. All right. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day, night, honey, wherever you are. Okay. Do understand your day, night is going to get better once your perception gets better. So I had just woke up not too long ago, and soon as I had sat up, I received this download. Right. You overcame fear before. You can do it again. Instantly, I thought about the time where as though I was going back and forth, right, to stay with people, okay? And it was me and my youngest son. And I remember I was staying with this father and son who was from Ghana, who, oh my goodness, was so amazing to me. And shout out to Cujo, okay? Cujo, one of my friends, he was really, really kind. He was special, just phenomenal, outright phenomenal to me and my son. And I remember his father had told me that, his father was a psychic, right, in Ghana, right? And I remember he said, let me see your hand. I could do a reading for you. And so one of my questions was, will I get an apartment? Because that was like the only thing I really, really wanted. And I remember he told me no. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like I was devastated because I was like, that means I'm going to be, living with people and all this other stuff, right? And I remember the way things had turned out in my life, right? See, a lot of times events tend to happen and you may not understand why they are going on, okay? And the reason that they could be going on is because of what you may have asked for, right? You may say that you wanted oh, I want to manifest my apartment. And then, something happens out of the blue. And then next minute, you go through these trials and tribulations and then you receive, the thing that you asked for. So, so he told me no, and I felt some type of way. And the guy who I was messing with at the time, uh, me and him broke up not too long ago, right? And then later on, I went back to move with him again, and then things still didn't work out. So from there, I went to go stay with my brother. And from me staying with my brother, what wound up happening was I had did an interview with this transitional housing place in Jersey City named St. Joseph's. And when I did the first interview, I was staying with my aunt who owned her own house. And since I was on her lease, they was like pretty much they couldn't take me because I was on my aunt's lease. Well, honey, fast forward. I'm staying with my brother. I did another interview with them and explained to them, like, what I was going through and growing through. And within 2 weeks, they called me and said, great news, Dina, you could move in. I was ecstatic. Okay. I was so, so excited. Right. But this is the part that I want to convey to the person that is, you know, thinking the worst that can happen to them. Let me tell you something. You are going to be good. You're going to be good. When I moved into St. Joseph's, I was there for 16 months. It was the most amazing experience that I had in my life. The nuns was absolutely phenomenal towards me and my children. Um, it was really a good experience. They had washer and dryers on every floor. Okay. You had your own room, and it kind of put you on the mind of a college dorm, right? It was really, really good. And when I was in there, and I started thinking about, oh my goodness, what if something go wrong here and I don't get my apartment? So there's always going to be chatter in your mind, okay? And you get to be an observer. They call it, a lot of people call it the monkey in the mind. That's always telling you what you can't do, how you will never be successful, how you will never do that. Honey, majority of the time that is telling you that is not true. Okay. And I wound up getting my own apartment. Okay. I wound up, and that was a fear of mine because first it was like, oh my goodness, will I ever get the apartment? Honey, then, I go to the place transitional housing where as though you stay there, you do whatever you need to do there, okay? And then you get a Section 8 voucher and then you get your own apartment. So do understand, if you overcame it many other times, this time is no different. The circumstances, it may seem a little different, but it's the same exact thing. You can overcome it again. And focus on all your successes. All the times that you overcame the fear. All the times that you had goals. I remember another thing for me, Section 8 at this time, they were matching whatever amount of rent that you was paying, right? And at the end of the 5-year period, if you had hit your goals, you will receive whatever money accumulated. And I remember I had goals. One was for me to go to a finance literacy class. Another one was for me to finish college. And it was another one for me to become a police officer. But because Section 8 was like, well, you can't pretty much, you're not in charge of, when you will get hired, becoming a police officer or whatever, or when you take the test and stuff like that. So since you hit these two goals, they gave me $10,000. So when you think that you can't, you can. Take the T off. You can. When you think it's not going to work out, it is. When you think that things are not going to get better, they are. When you think that the light is not it is. The light is at the end of the tunnel. It's all according to what your perception is. Do and get and understand that the universe wants you to win. Okay? You have to be mindful of the seeds that you tend to plant. But you got this. You got this. And I don't know who this video was, who needed to hear this, because as soon as I got up, that's what popped up. Maybe it was me who needed to hear it. But I love you guys. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourselves. And one of the books that I highly, highly recommend, if you are a person that is, going through that, right? The fear of whatever, you thinking you're not going to hit your goals or whatever it is, your desires that you want to manifest. Get this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. Because one of the things you want to understand is you get what you focus on. And dream big, dream big. Talk about the things that you gonna have one day. Because the truth of the matter is you will. Write down the things that you vision for you and your family. Get that vision board started. Until next time, I love you guys. And do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Peace.